So I just wanted to review our first clutch of the season, and the clutch is actually hatched out already. They've already actually gone through their first sheds, so they're looking real good right now. But before I show you the babies and I sex the babies, I just want to show you the adults that we paired to get our babies. This here is a male Pastel Enchi. He doesn't look too sharp right now because he's about to go into a shed. Usually he's a lot more yellow than this. So the male, the sire, was a Pastel Enchi, bred to this female Mojave. Got a little bit of a mess there in the corner. So this female Mojave gave us 10 eggs, which is awesome. So let's take a look at the babies now. Alright guys, so we're going to take a look at the clutch. We're going to look at the babies. As I've said, they've all shed, so they got pretty nice looking colors going on right now. Now, of course, when you're breeding and you're lucky enough to get 10 eggs from a female, you're going to get a pretty awesome looking clutch. You know, you're going to get a lot of different combinations in there, especially when it's, you know, a double to a single. So, you know, obviously your goal is to hit the triple, but you're going to get different combinations of doubles and singles in there also. So I'm going to kind of start off here with, I don't want to exactly say it this way, but I don't know any other way to say it, the least valuable, I guess, snakes in the clutch. Now, of course, here we treat all our snakes the same. You know, we set everybody up individually and we try to get them on frozen thawed as soon as we can. Obviously, we haven't attempted to feed any of these guys yet. I believe they all just completed their first shed a couple days ago. So, but anyways, on to it. So this first snake we got here is a Mojave. Mojaves are really cool because there's still lots of stuff, even in this day and age where there's a bunch of different morphs and combos coming out each day. There's still a lot of stuff you could do with just a Mojave. You know, you could breed it to phantoms, you could breed it to mystics, you could breed it to specials, of course, and of course you could also make the blue-eyed leucistic if that's what you're into. So I'm just gonna look at this boy here a little bit. Nice blushing on the side. The female was a rather dark Mojave. You know, sometimes they're a little bit lighter than that. We're just gonna sex this guy. There you go, 2 peens. Little boy. And the next one up is his sister. Oh, his sister is actually even nicer looking. Really neat flames. I like when there's a, you know, a good amount of white in the flames, or not white, I guess, but you know, that blushing. Quite cool. So let's take a look at under her skirt. Little female. Now moving on, got a little Enchi here. Now I gotta say, a lot of credit for doing this pairing has to go to my buddy Joseph. It was his decision basically to put the Pastel Enchi to the Mojave, and you know, I'm really happy with this clutch, and as we go on you're gonna see why. But kudos to you, Joseph, for deciding this pairing. Oh. That's also a little girl. Now after the Enchi, we have this. This is a Pastave, or as Joseph likes to call him, a Pastave. Either way, it's a pastel Mojave. Quite nice, man. You saw the other 2 normal Mojaves that we have had quite a bit of blushing, but this blows them away, obviously. I mean, the blushing on this snake is crazy. And also what the pastel gene does to the pattern, it like really messes with it in a good way. But that snake is totally blushed out. That's a sick looking snake. Nice little Pastave. Also a little girl. This clutch, I believe, was female heavy when we had first sexed them. Of course, when you have 10 snakes, sometimes it's a little harder to remember the sex of them all when you're looking at them over again. And here, we have a nice Pastel Enchi. And Pastel Enchis, they're just awesome, man. Really, really cool. I mean, Enchi is just such a powerful gene, you know. You guys, I'm sure, have seen what it could do when it's combined with champagne. One of the few champagne combos that I like personally. But, you know, Enchi really makes everything better. So, really cool Pastel Enchi here. Ooh. And you guys can see clearly a little boy. Come here. And now we're going to move on to the higher end stuff. Alright guys, so that was 5 eggs down, or 5 babies down, 5 more to go. Now I'm not sure this guy went through his first shed yet, because he's still looking kind of pale. But this right here, whoa, excellent. I love that. I love when they're mean right out of the eggs, or right after the first shed. That usually means you're going to have a pretty easy time getting them to feed for the first time. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy takes frozen on the first shot. But this is a mochi. Basically, Enchi Mojave. And these guys are bright. They need to be seen in person for you guys to understand how bright this double is. This is probably one of my favorite doubles since we produced them this year. Definitely my favorite double that we produced. And again, huge credit goes to Joseph. His idea to put Pastel Enchi to Mojave. I was thinking of, I think, putting the Firefly to the Mojave, but I gotta say, what a good call by him. I was really skeptical when actually we traded one of our Fireflies, our Firefly male, for a Pastel Enchi. And, but Joseph, man, I gotta say, good call, dude. Really good call. And I'm gonna see if I could sex this dude without getting bit. You may, whoop, see me bleed a little bit. Alright, so let's stop this nonsense right here. I gotta use the camera case just to grab him here. And I know this guy's a boy, by the way, but I just want to show you guys on camera. Boy, and a mean one at that. High hopes that he's gonna eat right away. Now let's see his two sisters. His two sisters actually may be already spoken for. We'll see how that turns out. But you can see they're much brighter than he is. And these are still just mochis. Really incredible. I mean, the blushing, the patterning. This, what could you not like about these snakes here? Little girl. That male really wants to take a piece out of me. I believe this is the nicest mochi we produced. Yep. Again, the flames are out of this world, man. There's not too much brown on this snake. Most of it is gold and yellow. So, and the pattern is just crazy. I don't need to tell you guys the really cool things you could do with these snakes. I mean, example, let's say you breed it to a champagne, man. That's gonna be out of this world. I think it's a really strong combo that we have right here. You know, even breed it to like a mystic or a special, or so a bunch of options you could really do with these guys. You don't see these too often, I find. It's a girl also. Don't knock the tripod over. And these next one, guys, are incredible. Alright, and of course we have our triple here, which is what we were shooting for. This is a pastel mochi. Now, the big difference between the pastel mochi and the mochis is the head. You see the head is extremely faded here. Also, I mean, the overall brightness of the snake is just so much more intense. But this is a pastel mochi. I was telling my buddy Joseph, that's who, by the way, I work with, guys. It's a kind of a partnership, basically. Me and Joseph, we both do the reptiles here. It's not just me, obviously. I would not be able to take care of all these snakes and geckos by myself. Joseph helps me out a lot. And we're good friends, and we both really enjoy just all reptiles, man. We're not ball python guys, we're not corn snake guys, we're not gecko guys, we're everything guys. So, but I gotta say, I don't know if we're gonna produce anything cooler than this year, but we'll see. There is actually something we could produce that'll be even sweeter, but we'll see what happens. And here we got a boy. There you go. But now, guys, the gem of the clutch, his sister. This is just too much. This is a bright snake. I've never seen such a bright animal. Oh, I guess I'm lying, right? Because I do go on the internet, I see some of the infernos and things like that. But I mean, look at her compared to her brother. And her brother's pretty amazing, but I mean, look at her color. Wow. Amazing. Let me put him back. So, really cool, guys. I mean, could we have asked for a better clutch? You know, 1.2 mochis, 1.1 of the triple, the pastel mochi. And, you know, everything in between, because you guys basically, I'll tell you right now, when you're producing snakes, you could shoot for the big morphs all the time, and that's cool, that's fine. But if you guys want to be able to reach, like, all consumers, you gotta be able to produce the Mojaves, things like, and the Enchis, things that are gonna sell for cheaper, right? So this is just an awesome spread that we got, really. Couldn't have asked for anything better. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about any of the animals you saw, if you're interested in purchasing them, like I said, they have yet to eat thus far, but that shouldn't be too long before they're taken frozen thawed and ready to go. So if you guys want any of the snakes you saw, let me know, and we'll make that happen. Take care, guys.